Hello and welcome to the Fulhamish Quick Take. You join us here after a 1-0 victory over Nottingham Forest. We've got the lovely City ground behind us. I'm joined by Drew Heatley.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, I'm feeling great after that. It was pretty solid. I mean, the first half was, dare I say, dull.
Yes.
But it was nice to have that penalty from Raul Jimenez in the second half early on. It was a penalty, wasn't it?
It absolutely was a penalty. The first half will never live long in the memory for those who were there and those who certainly wouldn't for those who weren't. But to come back out of the blocks and get that penalty really early doors, I think really put the cat amongst the pigeons. And I think the City ground's quite funny. They all get a bit craggy when things don't go their way, get on top of their team a little bit. So I think it was the perfect time to get a penalty, albeit after a long VAR check once more.
Yeah, the away end was definitely bouncing after that penalty. Yeah. We definitely needed that lift after the first half. We both thought that Lukic had a good game today. I mean, I remember seeing him against Chelsea last season and thinking, God, who on earth is this? But he's come a long way since then. He's done well.
I think we've been talking a lot about the balance of the midfield in the midfield three this season, but we're starting to see the main beneficiary of it has been Lukic. I think he's like coming to his own. He's got a role now. He can see exactly what he contributes to the team. Whereas before, it's always been, well, what does Lukic do? He when he has a good game, you can see it, and when he doesn't, he goes missing. And I think this season he's really come into his own through the way that we've had him and Pereira and ESR as well. So I think he's definitely apart from Emile Smith-Rowe, who's been incredible. He's come out looking really, really good, and he did it again today. He was probably my man of the match, certainly if you look at the game on the whole.
I was going to disagree. I was going to say I thought he was quite stifled today.
Okay.
I didn't think he had as much creative outlook as I've seen in other games.
Uh-huh.
Well, why do you say he's your man of the match?
Oh, I'm talking about Lukic, by the way.
Sorry.
No,
I was going to say I was talking about ESR, sorry.
No, okay, good, we're good. No, I have been wearing my glasses, so I've got contacts in, so it's okay. No, Lukic, I think, was my man of the match today. But yeah, I agree on ESR. I think he didn't have as good a game as he's had. He did look a bit stifled. But he's playing more minutes now, which is great. He got up to 86 minutes, so he's coming up to full fitness, isn't he? So that can only be a good thing. But you can't hit a home run every game, can you? So I will let him off this one.
No, 100%. I think I can let one game slide. No, it's great to have Lukic. I think he'd probably be my man of the match as well. Sorry, I do agree on that. Anderson, Bassi, same centre-backs obviously as usual. I thought Bassi had a better second half, you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. First half I was a bit concerned for him. Their number 9 was quite good on the turn. I think it might have caught him out a couple of times. He did recover well on all the occasions, but obviously I think, and I don't want to single out centre-backs, but sometimes Anderson's so good that if you've got a centre-back who's really much better than the other partner, they either elevate them or they expose them inadvertently as being not as good as them. And I thought that was kind of the case in the first half, particularly, that Anderson was really good, and I sort of got a bit nervous about Calvin Bassi. But although he did get turned a few times, he actually did recover, and we got kept clean sheets. I'm not gonna sort of harp on that too much.
Yeah, that's true. Lovely little clean sheet, and as much as the goal was a penalty, sometimes that's just the way it goes. I thought from that first half, it felt like it might be a game which was going to be won with one goal.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it was going to be tight after that sort of scrappy first half. And I think a note on that penalty, I mean, when they're arguing over that spot kick, it was shades of Mitrovic and Abu Kamara, wasn't it? And that never ends well at Fulham when there's a scrap over a spot kick. And I thought, well, Jimenez has won that battle against Pereira, and is he gonna fluff his lines? But also, it sort of shows why we kind of need a captain on the pitch, because Leno was nowhere to be seen, and what you needed there was somebody to come in and say, stop being ridiculous. We've got a taker. We obviously have a taker. Yes, Pereira, you won the penalty, but it doesn't mean you get to take the penalty. And he got taken off. He got taken off by Silva, which is just a bit of a rare one, really, isn't it? It doesn't happen very often, and no way related. But it was interesting. I'm just glad that, although Jimenez won the battle, he also won the war on that, because that could have been really awkward.
Yeah, I did say to you, I felt a little bit nervous when I saw him start his run from outside the penalty box, take 2 little run-ups. I did feel for a moment that wasn't going to go in.
God, yeah, but it's 3-3 now, and that's a streak, isn't it? That's a streak for Raul Jimenez. Who would have thought it? And then if you take that, it was 9-11 starts, wasn't it? And now we can say it's 10-12 or 10-13. they're good numbers. It's like it's pre head injury Raul Jimenez, and that's probably why we took the £5 million punt on him. Last year. So it's nice to see it paying dividends. As I said before on the pod, I don't care who scores, which one of our number 9 scores. If it's Jimenez, if it's Muniz, and at the moment it's Jimenez, and I'm buzzing for that.
Obviously, Muniz came on at the end, but as you said, it's Jimenez who now has the numbers. He's got the goals. He's got 3 and 3. Has he probably solidified himself in that number 9 position going forward now in the starting lineup?
Yeah, I think so. But words on Muniz today was good. He comes on, you want to prove yourself as a striker, you want to get your goal, you want to put yourself back in contention in that conversation. And obviously there was a chance at the end. We were on the break. It was probably the 7th minute of the 8 in extra injury time minutes. I don't know how in a game like that, I mean, substitution sure, but bloody hell, I don't know how we got that figure from. But we're on the break. He could have a chance. The chance got away from him, but he showed great game management, turning, passing it back, and then we recycled the ball, and it was really clever from Muniz, where I think if it was me, I'd be like, I need to get a goal to get back amongst it, which is why I'm not a professional footballer, but hats off to him for that, because I think that was for the greater good.
Yeah, I think we probably saw Silva doing the same thing as he'd done against Newcastle. He brought on Reed in the latter stages of the game. We saw Diop come on as well. Do you think this is now how Silva's going to see out most games after seeing so many late goals recently? Yeah,
I think the Ings West Ham equaliser is going to be sort of a watershed moment in what's been a really good start, but I think it's just forced Marco Silva to think more practically about, right, we need to, when we're in position of power, how do we sort of solidify that, and just have a set number of moves that have clearly worked, and he's done it twice now, and it's proving to be the right decision. It's good to have that in your arsenal to see out those games, and I think although it was quite a horrendous 8 minutes because it was just so long, and the spectre of those late goals looming, I think we handled those 8 minutes really, really well. So it was fantastic to see that after Xerxes and Ings ruining our evenings and afternoons.
Yeah, there were obviously chance of we're going on a European tour at the end of this game. Obviously, bit of an exaggeration maybe, but we've got 2 quite challenging games coming up now with City and Villa. How are you going to see, how's Fulham going to approach this?
Next weekend is just like lambs to the slaughter, isn't it? I hate it so much. I hate playing City. I hate their impact on the Premier League.
No Rodri.
No Rodri, no Partey. You see today they did get a draw against Newcastle, so like there's shoots of optimism, I guess. Villa, Villa at home, they're a great side, and we know that. But I think we should be battling for some points there. So that's a tough game. If you write off City, which I hate saying free hits, it's not a free hit, but Villa, we got more chance of points. But I say it all the time. It's like collecting nuts for winter. Like we've collected 6 points there, 2 wins in the trot. Like, we can now sort of go into those games in a much better position. Europa League proper spots, by the way, top 6. It's nice to have that sort of cushion to go into those games, and the confidence is going to be high as well, so who knows?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, obviously, I think we now leapfrog Forest now, don't we? They were a point ahead of us, and they had been unbeaten until this point. It feels lovely.
Feels absolutely wonderful. Got a night out in Nottingham planned. It's going to be wonderful. I'm going to take the Fulham jumper off, but they'll still be right here.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Drew.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe down below. Any comments in the comment section. And come on, you Whites.